Gender. We all know that men and women are different biologically and have different physical features. The society also expects men and women to behave in specific ways. Gender is pattern of behavior expected from boys and girls that is determined by the society. Gender assigns particular roles to men and women and also dictates the way in which men and women will be treated in a society. With changing times, gender roles also change. Gender inequality. When men and women are treated differently, it is called gender inequality. Age-old customs, traditions and beliefs dominate women's lives in our society. Traditionally, the job of a man and woman can be categorized as working to earn a living and doing all the household work at home and bear children, respectively. To maintain this categorization, a set of rules and regulations have been formulated, with the aim to confine women in their homes and deprive them of all opportunities of education and progress. Let us look at some manifestations of gender inequality. The family is the first influence in a child's life. Gender inequality begins from the family only. In many families, the father or any other male member is considered to be the head of the family, and all the other members try to look after his needs and comfort. Women are supposed to do the housework even if they go outside the house to earn a living. A family willingly spends any amount on a boy's education, while a lot of thought is given before spending on a girl's education. In many homes, women do not have any opinion on household issues and are often not allowed to express their opinions. If gender inequality exists in a family, a child also learns it as a part of growing up. To his or her mind, gender-specific roles are natural and essential. A very horrifying effect of gender inequality is female feticide. It is an inhuman practice where the gender of a child to be born is determined, and if found that the child is a girl, it is killed before birth. Sometimes a girl child is killed immediately after birth. This practice is called female infanticide. Gender inequality exists in schools as well. In many schools, boys are encouraged to excel in sports, while girls have the option to take up sewing and knitting as special subjects. Textbooks also carry stereotypical images of men and women in the kitchen and men reading a newspaper. All this makes gender inequality deeply instilled in our minds. Children grow up with the mindset that women and men indeed have such specific roles in the society. The religious scriptures in our society have been largely written by men, so it is natural that women have been assigned a second-grade role in the religious lives as well. Men enjoy more rights and privileges than women, and women are made to follow various restrictions. Religion is especially cruel to single women, such as widows, who are made to follow very harsh rules and regulations. Media has a great influence on people. Advertisements and commercials play a big role in conditioning people's minds about gender roles. Most advertisements encourage gender-specific roles for men and women, while women are made to endorse beauty products, kitchen appliances, baby care products. Advertisements of cars, electronic gadgets and sports gear mostly show men. Even the television serials and movies watched by a huge number of people portray the Indian women as weak and always sacrificing their own wishes for the family and bearing all hardships. Men are shown to be dominant and insensitive. Women and social reform movements. In spite of the gender inequality, the position of women in the society is much better today than what is used to be 100 or 200 years ago. Due to the efforts of some social reformers, women were able to break some of the social barriers, come out of the confines of their home and go to school. One of the most important indicators of change in the position of women in society is the education of women. education of women was traditionally not allowed in our society. Today, women are highly educated and highly qualified professionals. In the 19th century, social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Jyotiba Phule, Ruqayya Sekhawat Hussain and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan worked for the betterment of women's lives. Their efforts led to the abolition of inhuman practices like sati and the parda system and legalized widow remarriage. Many schools were established for girls. Once introduced to education, women went on to take up higher education as well. The freedom struggle also saw large-scale participation of women. Matangini Hazra, Annie Besant, Sarojini Naidu and Sucheta Kripalani were some of the important women leaders. Insensitive approach to women's labor. One of the most glaring examples of gender inequality in the economic life is the absolutely insensitive approach to women's labor. This means that even after working from dawn to dusk, the work of a woman mostly goes unnoticed as she does not earn anything directly by doing all the household work. However, the fact is that a woman's contribution at home is immense. Cooking, cleaning, childcare, caring for the sick or elderly, preparing food, washing clothes, etc. are traditionally seen as the work of a homemaker, and the women engaged in these activities from morning to night are classified as not working. This kind of work is considered necessary for survival, but as it results in no income for the worker, it is not included in the calculations of national income of any country. Even for women who work outside, household work do not have any economic value. Women do a lot of important but unpaid jobs in the agricultural sector as well, such as post-harvest processing, preparing food for the agricultural laborers, threshing, gathering fuel and fodder, and looking after the livestock. Thus, most of women's labor is invisible and unrecognized. Working women. In the 1800s, during the Industrial Revolution, women came out of their homes to work in factories and began to earn money. Today, around the world, women are stepping out of their homes to earn their living. Today, working women have a very challenging life. They have to balance all the work in their offices and also the household responsibilities. People are increasingly recognizing the amount of household work done by women. She is getting house helps to help her to do the work. The male members of the family are also sharing the household work so that the burden does not entirely fall on the women alone. Women workforce in India. Women in India work in both the informal and formal sectors. Economic activities that are not taxed by the government comprise the informal sector. They work under casual contracts and have no fixed timings. In the informal sector, women work as agricultural laborers, basket weavers and domestic servants, or hawkers and vendors. Women are playing an important role in the formal sector as well. The formal sector consists of offices, schools, hospitals, banks and BPOs. Sometimes women face discrimination at workplace. For example, they are deprived of promotions and growth opportunities. In some cases, women are paid lesser than their male counterparts for the same job. A woman's earnings often play an important role in the maintenance of the household. But she herself may not have control over the money she earns. She is less likely to spend her money on herself. She would rather use it for household expenditures. Many women still seek their husband's permission when they want to purchase something for themselves. Many of them are not allowed to take decisions even in case of important investments. The Constitution prohibits discriminations on the basis of sex. The Equal Remuneration Act 1976 was passed to ensure that employers do not discriminate on the basis of gender in matters of wage fixing, transfers, training and promotion. It provides for payment of equal remuneration to men and women workers for the same work or work of similar nature, and for the prevention of discrimination against women in matters of employment. In the formal sector, women enjoy certain benefits such as medical facilities, including sick leave, maternity benefits, and hospitalization. Maternity leave is the leave a woman is entitled to while having a baby. The Government of India gives 180 days of maternity leave to its employees and provides for an additional 2 years of paid leave for child care purposes. Private offices also give maternity leaves to the female employees. Changing times. With changing times, more and more people are getting convinced about establishing gender equality. Today, women are at par with men. They are looking after the home as well as managing careers. Women have also entered male-dominated professions and have become Air Force pilots and engine drivers. The government has also taken many steps to improve the condition of women in several ways. The Constitution of India declares that all citizens of India, men or women, have equal rights. There is universal adult franchise in India, which allows the adult women and male citizens of the country to exercise their voting rights. Laws have been made to ensure that women get equal share of parental property. The Constitution states that the government shall not discriminate in matters of public employment against any citizen on the ground of sex. The government is also taking several measures to promote the education of girls. Concession in fees, free textbooks, uniforms and scholarships are some of the measures taken by the government to encourage education of women. 50% seats in the local governments have been reserved for women.